The second half of this morning's edition of News and Views, and I know we have been trying to get hold of Dr. Abdulrahman Abu Hamisu out of Nigeria with regard to the terror trial. Hopefully, we are able to get him on a better line right now, and we still have got from the boardroom to the ballot with the CEO of Al Baraka Bank, Shabir Chauhan, coming up as well, and also an in studio interview with Africa Muslim Agency. But let's go across now to be joined by Dr. Abdurrahman Abu Hamisu. Dr. Abdurrahman, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for having me.
Well, we must apologize earlier. I know there have been somewhat of a battle, connectivity issues, so we are doing this interview telephonically with you this morning. But what obviously caught our eye is this trial that is taking place in Nigeria, a terror trial, unprecedented, that is being described by many as well, where over 500 people are facing trial, and the trial has already started.
Yes, as it is often said, according to Osman Danfodio, the leader of the 19th century jihad in Nigeria, that a society can endure with unbelief, but certainly it may not endure with injustice. The purpose of trial, conviction, serving a jail term, or being pardoned is to ensure some level of restitution and to correct behavior from unwanted behavior to the desired one so that society can live in peace. The people in question, most of whom have been held for a very long time, and some of them, at the time they were held, there was no framework for deciding uh, such cases. And so, Nigeria started from boom, the emergence of the terrorist group and the development of framework to guide whatever punishment or retribution that ought to follow. So for us, it's a welcome development so that those to be sentenced could be sentenced and they know their fate, whether they are going to do their sentences and come out alive or until they are pardoned. So it is something that we look forward to so that we could put such a case behind us
Yes.
as a nation.
But also, Dr. Abdurrahman, as I mentioned, this is unprecedented because when we know that there are more than 500 people that were accused of involvement in what is termed as militant attacks. But when you have 227 people appearing at the same time in court, and clearly, there are issues that could arise because you're talking of 227 people all being tried at the same time. Logistically, it must be a nightmare, both for the prosecution and the defense, but also at the same time, in terms of, how does one actually try so many people at the same time?
Yeah, it's going to be a Herculean task. I think whatever the situation may be, we're hoping that justice will be served. You know, when somebody committed a crime and is appropriately punished, even his conscience will stick to the person that the right thing has been done. But in the process of ensuring that justice is done, and then the people concerned feel that they did not get any sense of justice, that become a sort of process that may radicalize these people the more. So, if the state feels that it has the capacity to undertake such a prosecution, I won't be able to doubt them for now. But I have seen the way cases are handled in Nigeria. There are cases that are dragged on for 10, 15 years. cases that ordinarily, if it could be in another country like South Africa, could be dispensed with within, say, a month or two. So, we want to give them benefit of the doubt to say that they are well equipped to handle such a situation. And we hope that whatever is the shortcomings from the process, we are able to learn from it if we are willing to learn. Because some other time again, we just make attempts to ensure that the right thing is done to send a signal. So we're watching the process closely to see what is being done. If there is any error arising from human error, that is pardonable. But again, when there is a deliberate attempt to steer the judgment towards, for instance, convicting everybody on the list, irrespective of whether they are guilty or not, then it becomes something of concern. And so for now, all fingers are crossed. We are watching. So that it will not look as if we never gave any benefit of doubt.
Yes, Dr. Abdulrahman, obviously a trial like this can create certain complications as well. And I'm sure that, the fact that they are appearing before 10 judges, so this is huge, this is massive, and it'll be interesting to see how the entire process is managed, considering that the suspects are facing charges for linked to aiding and abetting terrorism, and this is going back 17 years ago.
Yes, yes. So until the process begins, we may not be able to pinpoint the shortcomings arising from either the arrangement or the appearance or the quality of legal representation for these persons. Because according to Nigerian law, every accused is entitled to legal representation until such a person decline any form of legal representation. We've had cases in the past where some persons were convicted of terrorism, and so I feel became a problem because nobody will want to give them the transcript of the case from the prior court so that they can go to another court, which was interpreted widely as deliberate attempt to forcefully enforce the conviction without giving the accused the benefit of the doubt to explore all the legal avenues that are available to them by right as enshrined in the Constitution. So we want to see a situation whereby the convicted would have been able to prove his own case beyond reasonable doubt, as we say in Nigeria, because he is given the right to say, I am guilty or I'm not guilty at that. And you could go ahead to prove uh, either way uh, what he pleaded for. So we want to see that the victims' rights are protected, especially the accused. I mean, their rights are protected and given the maximum legal representation possible as enshrined in the Constitution, in that they have right of appeal, and that they should not be treated like a mass case that may lead to mass casualties. Because when you have mass approach to issues, then you're going to have unintended consequences. And the people that may be affected may be people that are innocent or that the role they are accusing them for, they never played this role. So I think making the process transparent enough to safeguard the right of the accused despite their accused, I think is very important in this particular process. In that the process must be seamless and must be meticulous in terms of the prosecution and the proceeding.
Well, Dr. Abdulrahman, we must thank you. We do appreciate you taking time out for us this morning right here on Salam Media. We will follow developments in Nigeria and see how this trial actually pans out. But for now, all the best to you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Thank you, my brother. Please.
Dr. Abdulrahman Abu Hamisu joining us out of Nigeria. We're going to go for a break. We come back. We speak with the CEO of Al Baraka Bank, Shabir Chauhan, from boardroom to ballot.
Reju-